Hey there everybody, today's video is going to go over choices and how having more choices can help your child grow to be more independent, but also really help them as a tool when they're in crisis mode. Before I get into the details, I just want to say welcome to our channel. I always say our channel because I created this as a space for people to come together, share the resources, and improve the lives of families living with autism. When a child understands the concept of having a choice, it fosters independence and allows them to better understand how they're feeling, what they like and what they don't like. For any person on the face of this earth, that is a very important skill to have. But for children with autism, it's especially important. For us, I know that having choices allows Shane to have a tool that he can use when he is very upset. When your child understands that they have choices, they then have a tool that they can draw upon when they're feeling upset, when they're feeling angry. And often, for children with autism, their ability to communicate their wants, their needs, their likes, even their concept of reasoning is a little bit more difficult than other children. So often their choices are taken away from them, or maybe they don't understand what their choices are. That is why it's very important to give your child choices, obviously, but really you need to make sure they're understanding their choices and that they can use them when they're feeling upset. Choices are great for fostering independence and understanding of their selves, of course, but choices can also be used to de-escalate when a child is about to have a crazy meltdown. When a child knows that they have another choice other than this meltdown to communicate their needs, their wants, their feelings, it becomes a very powerful tool for the parent. I know from personal experience that once Shane knew that when he's upset, he has choices that he can draw on, we came leaps and bounds with his ability to control his emotions and to communicate to me what he wants and what he needs. When a child is in the middle of a meltdown or a feeling like they're in crisis mode, screaming, crying, they are more than likely feeling as though they are out of control. For autistic children, often they take meltdowns because they don't know how to communicate what it is they want and what they need from that current situation. And that being said, if they don't feel like they have any other way, the easiest way for them to express themselves is to throw themselves on the floor, to take a temper tantrum, to hit, whatever it might be. By giving your child choices that they can draw upon in that moment, you are giving them the tools to de-escalate their own situation. I know this works because I've seen it with Shaney. My son is 8 years old, he has autism, and he has a lot of behavioral issues. And by giving him choices when he's feeling upset, he now is more in control of his own feelings, and he knows that when he's upset, he can communicate to me through these choices that he has. So you might be wondering, how do I give my child these choices? And how do I make sure that they use them? For us, what worked very well was I gave Shane 2, maybe 3, depending on the situation, choices that he could use when he was feeling upset. I used visual aids. Those work amazing for Shane and often for a lot of autistic children. They also help because sometimes they cannot verbally communicate because they may have a language delay, or maybe they're nonverbal, or maybe they're just in crisis mode and they just can't talk. So we would literally walk around with a few pictograms of what his choices were. So for example, when he was upset, I would have a picture of a puzzle, because he used to really like puzzles, and that would be one of his choices that he can do. I'd also have a picture of somebody taking a deep breath, a child taking a deep breath, because that works very well for Shaney. If he's able to just calm down for a second and take a deep breath. He actually tells me to take deep breaths when I'm getting upset now. And that's what I would have, something that he was able to give to me or take from me in the moment, that I would say, okay, you're upset right now because you can't have the ice cream, for example, but this is what we can do. We can read this book, or we can do the puzzle, or we can take a couple deep breaths. He then knew that he had choices that he knew would help him calm down in the crisis situation. Sometimes when our kids are in crisis mode, they may not be able to even think about, let alone choose one of these choices on their own. That's completely normal, especially when you first introduce these choices to your child. But just make sure that you always have them on hand and that you're regularly reminding your child that they are accessible to them whenever they need it. If they're in crisis mode and they're not remembering they have these other choices, prompt them. You can remove the visual aids from your purse. Put the 2 choices that they have on your hand in front of them. Remind them, you have choices. You're upset. You can take a deep breath. We can read a book. Whatever it is that works for your child. Don't be scared to prompt them in the situation when they're upset, because they may need that reminder, especially in the beginning. When teaching Shane about the choices he had when he was upset and how to use them, the thing that really helped us a lot was using positive reinforcement. It does not have to be anything big like a brand new toy or something like that. It could literally just be a tickle or a nice warm hug or a pat on the back, whatever works for you guys. But allowing your child to know right away that what they did is good will teach them cause and effect of making good choices. It's very simple. Just give them a quick hug, a quick high five, and let them know you made a good choice and that makes me happy, and hopefully it makes them happy too. Like any other concept, when you are teaching something new to your child, you want them to be in a happy and relaxed state. Don't wait till they're upset to give them choices. Rather, just make it very simple. Practice choice making when you're playing games or eating breakfast. You can just hold up an apple and an orange and ask them which one they want and tell them that was a really good choice and give them a high five or pat on the back, whatever works for you and your child. Just make sure they're in a good mood and you practice it a few times before you try using it when they're in crisis mode. Giving Shane the ability to make better choices when he's upset has changed our life significantly. We have way less temper tantrums. I'm less stressed out. He's a much happier kid. We're able to do more things together. And it's just been amazing. So I hope that this video will be just as helpful for you guys. Please, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Better yet, if you know somebody that you think it can help, share it with them. Thanks so much, and looking forward to the next video.